Welcome to my podcast, Apollonia Studio 6.
We have a little bit of time, and of course, I want to talk about Black Magic
Oh
Woman.
God, you
So
have
let's
to. I
talk
was waiting
about
for that.
For that,
Black
and here I wanted
Magic
to ask
Woman.
about Better Off Dead. So we'll do
Okay,
that
well-
one, and we'll do Better Off Dead after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Black Magic Woman, which
Black
starred
Magic Woman.
Mark Hamill, Miss Amanda Wyss, and Miss Apollonia. Let's talk about some great stories from that.
I got sent that script and I barely read it because they said it was going to be Mark Hamill and Apollonia. I was like, done. That sounds like it's going to be so awesome.
You're so
And
cute.
we
met.
walked on the set the first day and sat on the floor.
Oh, we'll talk about that one. But you remember where we first met? See,
Wait,
am I older than you?
No, wait, where did we first meet?
We met at a medical office because Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, that's right.
You have to take a physical. And we walk in. I walk in. She was like, Apollonia. And I'm like,
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
The place in Hollywood. It's
Yep.
the guy's son. You used to have to get that physical before you started any job, and there was this doctor, I forget his name, and then his son took it over. It was this little like old wooden door thing.
yeah.
in
And it was so
Hollywood.
weird when they had us bend over and they gave us an anal exam for a movie.
I know. And he was always trying to give people pap smears and stuff. And it's like, oh, I don't think I need that. I'm covered on that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. And the anal, no thanks.
I was like, oh my God, we're doing a movie together.
And from that moment on, she was just
I
like this
accosted her.
little ball of energy, right? I was like, what's your birthday? She goes, I'm a Sagittarius. So we're making this movie, Black Magic Woman, based after the Carlos Santana song. So we thought. And we sit down the first day shooting. We sit down in the little room by ourselves, right? And we were all alone. It was at night. And we started to bond and laugh, joking. And then what made us laugh even more is that we had just had food. And the food was horrifying. And next thing we know, we're like having some issues. And we're just laughing. Right? And we continue having issues. And I guess some prop guy walks in. He walked in. He was like, oh, like,
Oh my God.
right?
Sorry.
We were just laughing, and then I started getting bitchy. I was like, well, what do you think? As a craft service, what the hell are they feeding us, for God's sakes? You know? And
so
that's
funny.
how we bonded. We were sitting there laughing.
We had fun
Tears.
every day on that set, even though it was a very difficult shoot. It was difficult production wise. The script had a bunch of problems.
Yeah.
The director
I could talk about it.
was
Yeah.
there was just a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But despite that, though, we all had a really good time. The three of us, or you and I especially,
Right.
had a
We
great
had a
time.
blast.
Yeah.
But we had a director, I'll say, Darren Warren, and she had just come from the theater. She had just been directing Angelica Houston. Well, it didn't
Didn't translate.
Thank you. I was going to say the F word. And she was just, we were having
It was just a very difficult shoot.
and we were excited because, Amanda and I was like a lady, director, theater.
Yes, and it was two great roles for women.
Yeah.
It was a horror film, but slightly elevated, and it had Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
And it had so much possibility, and it was really disappointing. Actually, It was ultimately super disappointing, and it had fairly decent sized producers.
Right.
It was, it had all the makings to have.
Great
Something
movie.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but our friendship has lasted
Right.
solidly
Since then,
since then.
we got along great. And then we get
My
to work
family
with
loves her.
my God.
Everything. Yeah,
parents. We get to work with Mark Hamill.
yeah.
We have a scene where we have to make love. And it was so cute because Mark Hamill's standing there in his little tighty whities. He's kind of like standing there like, okay, doing this with his hands, and I was like, okay, because nerve-wracking doing,
It is. It's
love
weird.
scenes. It dealt with Santeria, and there was something else that I was gonna. I mean, it was just so much fun, right? And Mark was just fun. at one point, like I said, the director unfortunately didn't put what was on the script on the screen. And that was really difficult for us. And, she would come around. And I remember one time she goes, Mark Hamill has agreed to work for free for the next 2 days. And then I said, did you say that? He goes, no. Because she was behind schedule.
So I totally forgot about that. They wanted us to work for free.
Well, I was like, no.
The great thing is that I basically could just like hide behind Mark and Apollonia because whatever they said went on the set. People, I didn't have any clout, but I was like, what they say.
Yeah, and what we did is that I kept track of my hours. Then I told Mark. He goes, how many? I go, you're not keeping track? He goes, no. I go, well, this is what, So then they had to pay us and they had to pay you. So I said, well, these are the extra hours and da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
She took care of the whole
and
thing.
And we got, like some pretty decent money.
That was back in the day, like where an independent film, you'd still make bank. Before people are like, do you want to be in my movie? I'm going to pay you $50.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, thank you.
Welcome to my podcast, Apollonia Studio 6.